Hello there, it's 11:30. Welcome to news from here on GHOne television. We are live from our studios at the Platinum Place, Northridge, also live on Facebook, on X and on YouTube. Now here's what to expect in the next 60 minutes. Oh, their numbers as Ghana joins the rest of the world to commemorate World Kidney Day.
Above 40, you should know your numbers. You should be checking regularly. And if you're 30, give yourself a health check. Apart from that, we have people who have hypertension and diabetes.
Also, into Bineri to intensify security following reprisal attacks between Sambrefo and Fulani. Now, Ifia MP Isaac Boamanyako implores government to refund monies to about 400,000 youth who were disqualified in the recent recruitment exercise. In business this morning, President John Dramani Mahama commissions a Sharami Ghana LPG vessel in South Korea. Well, stay with me because I've got the details of these stories, including the latest in the world of sports, all coming up. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. I'm grateful for your company this morning. Well, today marks World Kidney Day, a day observed globally on the theme Kidney Health for All, caring for people, protecting the planet. The day highlights the importance of protecting kidney health while promoting sustainable and accessible care. Health partners including PATH, Healthy Heart Africa, the Ghana Kidney Association, and a Ghana awareness on chronic kidney disease and the need for early detection. Globally, chronic kidney disease is estimated to affect about 850 million people. In Ghana, prevalence is estimated at about 13.3%, but awareness remains low among the population. Health professionals are therefore urging individuals, especially those living with hypertension and diabetes, to undergo regular testing and screening to allow for early diagnosis and treatment. Well, still on kidney matters, the health ministry has raised alarm over increasing kidney diseases among young people in the country, with nearly 4 million Ghanaians battling chronic kidney diseases. According to the Health Minister, Kwabena Kando, the over 4 million people battling chronic kidney diseases are within the age bracket of 19 and 46. Now, as Ghana joins the rest of the world to commemorate World Kidney Day, the government is calling for early detection and treatment.
Mr. Speaker, kidney disease has emerged as a significant public health concern globally and increasingly within Ghana. Chronic kidney disease, often described as silent condition, progresses gradually and frequently remains undetected until it reaches advanced stages. As a result, many patients report late to the health facilities when treatment becomes more difficult, more expensive, and less effective. In Ghana, the situation is deeply concerning. Current estimates for 2025 place the overall prevalence of chronic kidney disease at between 13 and 19% of the population, representing an average of about 4 million people. This is a significant burden by any measure. Particularly troubling is the fact that the disease is increasingly affecting younger and economically productive persons, with the average age of patients requiring dialysis estimated at 46 years. Mr. Speaker, available evidence from studies conducted at Konfanoche Teaching Hospital further underscores the gravity of the problem. These studies indicate that the highest frequency of renal patient falls within the 46 to 55 age group, representing 19.25%, followed closely by the 36 to 45 age group at 18.96%.
Now, the Renal Patients Association of Ghana have welcomed moves to fast-track the passage of the proposed organ transplant bill, describing it as a crucial step toward tackling the growing burden of kidney-related diseases in the country. According to the association, the legislation will provide a clear legal framework for organ donation and transplant. Health Minister Mensah revealed that nearly 19% of the country's population is currently battling kidney diseases. Speaking to Star News, President of the Renal Patients Association of Ghana, Kodjo said the bill will significantly help renal patients across the country.
I think it's long overdue. We've been in this situation for a very long time, and normally people travel out of the country to go and do transplants and those things, and then recently they are trying to do it in Ghana here, and it has been a challenge. And then people take the kidney, which we can if we could have had that policy there in a long time, we can harvest those things, put them in the bank, and then when they get a match, they just do the transplant for the person. So it's long overdue. I remember during the previous administration, something similar was started. I was part of it. Yes, where Dr. Siansari was the board chair. He was the chairman then. So we started something, and then but they lost. And then when this new administration came to, it has been a long time. So honestly speaking, it's something long overdue. But we thank God finally, if now it's being brought to the attention. I think it's a good news, and we hope they will fast track it.
Well, still on World Kidney Day, medical officer at Medics Clinic, Dr. Zulfia Gbedema, is urging the general public to take an interest in knowing their blood sugar numbers, among others, to prevent renal diseases. Speaking on GA Today, she argued that early testing saves lives and is the surest way to dealing with the rising cases of renal complications in the country.
The risk factors that we've come to find are age. So the older you are, the more likely you are to have kidney disease. So I say that if you're above 40, you should know your numbers. You should be checking regularly. And if you're 30, give yourself a health check. Apart from that, we have people who have hypertension and diabetes. Because once hypertension and diabetes are not controlled, then kidney disease becomes a complication, which usually is unavoidable. Apart from that, we have people who have a family history of kidney disease, of hypertension, of diabetes. Once it's in your family, you are at risk, and so you should definitely be checking your numbers. And then people who drink lots of alcohol, people who smoke, people who live sedentary lifestyles, eating lots of processed foods, high salt diets, not exercising enough, not drinking enough water. Everybody is at risk.
Well, still on this, health analyst and senior lecturer at the Department of Biostatistics at the University of Ghana, Justice Moses Aheto, says the growing consumption of caffeine and energy drinks is a major contributor to the rise in cases of kidney diseases and diabetes in the country. He warned that excessive intake of these beverages could have serious health implications if not properly managed. He also stressed the need for sustained public education to help Ghanaians detect illnesses early and seek timely medical care. He spoke on News Tonight.
If you check the content of most of energy drinks, they contain high level of caffeine. I don't know if you noticed that. Those who actually take energy drinks, you can tell for sure that it contains a high level of caffeine. And the caffeine, when it goes into the system, it forces your system to work extra than it's supposed to work. And that puts a lot of pressure on the organs, and that can also affect in fact, what we are discussing right now. So to me, I don't think it's a time to begin to advise people. Most of the energy drinks that contain high level of caffeine, they are not really good for us, to be frank with you, because they are drivers of the kidney disease that we are talking about. And in fact, some of them are even drivers of the diabetes we are talking about, even as far as hypertension is concerned, because all these organs work hand in hand. So when one is affected, it goes a long way to affect the other. And if you realize your system is down. So that is true, yeah.
Well, still on health. Subject, Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Samuel Kaba Akoria, has called on stakeholders in the fight against malaria, tuberculosis and HIV and AIDS to avoid working in silos and strengthen collaboration to accelerate efforts at eliminating the diseases. Dr. Akoria made the call during a joint annual performance review meeting of the 3 national disease control programs. He stressed that coordinated action among partners is crucial to improving outcomes and reducing the burden of the diseases across the country.
Annual performance review meeting brought together managers of the 3 programs, development partners and health officials to assess progress made over the past year and strategize for improved outcomes. Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Samuel Kaba Akoria, stressed the need for stronger coordination among stakeholders to accelerate efforts. Program managers at the meeting highlighted some progress made over the years, including expanded access to testing and treatment services, intensified public education campaigns, and strengthened surveillance systems. However, they also pointed to persistent challenges such as funding, gaps in community awareness, and difficulties in reaching vulnerable populations.
We must deliberately leverage the combined investments of TB, HIV, and malaria programs to strengthen the entire health system, our clinical settings, laboratories, supply chains, surveillance systems, workforce capacity, and community health platforms. Integration will not only be effective and sustainable if it strengthens the system as a whole, rather than creating a new administrative layers.
Health officials believe sustained collaboration among government partners and communities will be key in achieving national and global targets in the fight against malaria, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS.
Okay. Now, the minority in Parliament is demanding answers on the legal grounds for Ghana's collaboration with the United States in December 2025 on airstrikes in northern Nigeria. Speaking in a press briefing, ranking member of the Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee, Samuel Abujinapo, called for an immediate briefing to Parliament. He further questioned the measures through which the Mahama-led government initiated this action.
Our country, the Honorable Samuel Okudjeto Ablakwa, in London at the Chatham House, in contributing to a panel discussion, indicated that sometime last year, December 2025, the Mahama administration collaborated and cooperated with the United States of America and ceded Ghanaian territory as a grounds or basis, a base for the United States of America to unleash airstrikes against ISIS in northern Nigeria. Indeed, the foreign minister indicated that this was done at the express authorization of the government of President Mahama. The question, if the government of Ghana entered into any such agreement with the government of the United States of America, the dictates and tenets of our national constitution are express and clear that such agreements must necessarily elicit parliamentary approval. And so if there was any such agreement, why has the government as yet not tabled that agreement before the Parliament of Ghana for ratification or otherwise? Thirdly, what are the national security implications for our country with this kind of collaboration? Does Ghana become a target of ISIS? Does Ghana become a target for other terrorist organizations? What measures have been put in place in Ghana to ensure that our citizens are protected and our national security is safeguarded? The Minister for Foreign Affairs should appear before Parliament immediately to brief Parliament the circumstances under which the Mahama administration collaborated with the United States to perpetuate this.
Well, still on security, the Ghana Police Service has deployed a special team to Bineri following reprisal attacks between some Brifo and Fulani tribesmen in the community. In a statement from the Savannah Police Command, the service says it sent the team to intensify security and bring the perpetrators to justice. Savannah Police Command went on to assure the public that calm has since been restored and that efforts are ongoing to get those behind the acts arrested and brought to justice. The deployment is aimed at restoring calm, protecting lives and property, and prevent any further escalation of the violence. In the Savannah region, he's joining us to help us appreciate the situation currently on the grounds as we speak. So, Salifu, talk to me. The deployed security officials from the Ghana Police Service, do you have any information as to whether or not they've arrived in Bineri as we speak?
Thank you very much. It's actually true that a couple of days ago, in a week, it's very unfortunate there was a robbery incident that actually happened around the Bineri Central Road. And for now, it's true that IGP personnel that has deployed has arrived in the region. So currently they are on the ground, and the situation currently is under control. It was a robbery incident between Central and the Bineri Road, in which it was a market day of the community and that they really calling Tulu. So when they were going to that market, this robbery, suspected robbers met them and ambushed them. So when they actually pounded all of them to lie down. When they were lying down, one local man, a truthful man, said he will not lie down. So that was where they fired him and killed him. So when the community came, they arrived in that area. They concluded that it was a black herdsman who. So all the Fulanis in the catchment area, every household they entered, they killed and they burned their houses.
Right.
So that is why IGP has deployed his men and they are on the ground. So currently, as we are speaking now, when you come there, those who are flee to Solar Tula Kalba district in Solar Township have returned back to their catchment areas. Wherever they were still staying, they were out with their cattle. But most of their cattle have run away because the way the shooting was happening, the scaring of the place and some other things, those who take care of the caretakers of this cattle, some of them have also been killed. So some other people have received injuries, bullets, and they have run into the bush. Their family have moved. They don't even know wherever they are currently.
Well, thank you so much, Salifu. We'll definitely get back to you in subsequent bulletins to get to appreciate how things turn out with this new deployment to the area. But let's have a conversation with security analyst Emmanuel Kotin. He's joining us. Now, it's quite interesting, Mr. Kotin, because we all thought that Bineri had been really dealt with and so we were good to go. Does it surprise you that as we speak now, we've had to make another deployment to Bineri owing to reprisal attacks in the area?
Well, thank you for having me, and very good afternoon to your cherished listeners. To be honest, I'm not surprised at all. Our approaches to peace building in this country must have a second look at it. Because we cannot always use kinetic means in resolving conflicts in this country. We risk the process of relapse, and precisely so, this is what we are witnessing in this country. The Bineri issue, there was goodwill that was shown. And beyond the shaking of hands and whatever went around, that was the time government would have done serious work by putting peace builders or a team of peace builders in place to look at the underlying conditions that gave rise to the conflict. So if you don't address the underlying conditions and you use the kinetic means to restore law and order, you can be sure that there will always be relapse. And unfortunately, these are the kind of relapses we are seeing. And you see that it's costing the state even more
Right.
Now we are deploying troops once again to maintain law and order. Beyond addressing the underlying conditions, you can be sure that this conflict will relapse every now and then. And it's about time we look at how we put our peace-building mechanisms in place when some of these things arise. They have become one too many. And that by itself is presenting a lot of national security threat to the country. Because we have terrorism in the Sahel region. And terrorists are always looking for government spaces. So if this conflict continues unabated, and each time government will have to use troops to restore law and order, and when the tensions or the situation de-escalate, you withdraw the troops and it relapses again, many other things could be happening behind the scenes and we wouldn't know. And it will get to a stage, it will even be very difficult for government to contain the situation, just like we are having in Boku.
Right.
Boku is a clear example. Because of the cycles of relapse, the conflict expanded to the level we have in Boku today. And we must not allow Bineri to go towards that direction at all.
Well, Mr. Kodjo, as it stands now, we've redeployed to the area. What should be the way forward?
After law and order is restored, government should do the honest thing by putting a team in place to look at the underlying condition and get them addressed. Until we address the underlying conditions, we'll always be treating the symptoms, just like we have done over the period. And this is a burden on the taxpayer, unfortunately.
Well, once we have you on, there's another issue we just quickly want to touch on, and that has to do with the minorities press conference yesterday, basically talking about the fact that, well, Ghana had a role to play with the U.S. in the strike in northern Nigeria, and they say they want the foreign affairs minister to come and then answer to why we decided to join this. From where you sit, what's your reading into it?
You see, there are very legitimate concerns. But I'll plead with the minority that they should show leadership. Because the foreign affairs minister have put everybody at risk. So if they don't show leadership, remove the political and propaganda nuances out of it, we'll be exposing ourselves further.
When you say that, well, Mr. Kodjo, sorry, but when you say the foreign minister has put all of us at risk, what exactly do you mean by that?
You see, many countries have had strategic and security arrangements with other countries. And it's for good reasons we do that. If you look at the world today as the result of globalization, no country can do it by itself. So that's why we have these security pacts and those things. More often than not, those are classified documents. You don't speak in open forum on sensitive information like this. He's more or less telling the authorities that, hey, we are collaborating to get you out. So we are here, come for us. That's what I meant by saying he's putting all of us at risk.
Right.
And Honorable Kodjo is somebody I admire so much because he's a youth. And you know this country, the youth, we are the majority. And he's carrying the torchlight of all of us. But as the #1 diplomat, it's not everything you have to speak to the cameras around it. And I think the earlier is properly debriefed, the earlier for all of us as a country. But I'll plead with the minority. You see, that's why when you are in government, you need to do the right thing. When the U.S. military agreement was signed under the previous government, some of us spoke against it. We wanted Parliament to rectify that.
Right.
They didn't agree. They circumvented the processes. Today, they are talking about playing by the rules. When they were in government, they didn't do the same things. So you see, we cannot choose and pick. That's why I'm playing that. Let's remove the nuances of politics in it and put our country first on this matter. Then we don't endanger the life of everybody.
Right.
Look, terrorism is gaining ground in the Sahel. And if care is not taken, Ghana could become the next focus, especially that our #1 diplomat has said this in our open forum that we are collaborating with our development partners in this regard. And it was even undiplomatic, because he even mentioned that they were invited by the Nigerian government.
Yes, right.
And look at the situation in Nigeria with the accusation of some of the government officials embedded with the terrorists. Now you have come openly to say that the Nigerian government invited the United States of America to come and bomb the terrorist targets in Nigeria. So now the terrorists will now see the Nigerian government as the focus of attack.
Right.
And by extension, Ghana will not be spared. So
Well,
I think that the mistake has already been committed. Let's see how we address and de-escalate the situation, that we don't put everybody at risk.
Imam Okutin, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. And with Imam Okutin helping us appreciate that dimension, I'm sure that in subsequent bulletins we'll bring you further details and developments from this running story. But away from that, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says 2 Ghanaian nationals have been injured following a drone incident near Dubai International Airport on March 11, 2026. In a statement, the ministry said authorities in the United Arab Emirates informed Ghana about the incident. Now, government has since condemned the attack, noting that actions which endanger civilian lives and critical infrastructure pose serious risks to public safety. Ghana's ambassador to the UAE led a delegation from the embassy in Abu Dhabi and the consulate in Dubai to visit the injured nationals in hospital. Officials say their injuries are not critical and both are expected to make full recovery. The ministry says it is closely monitoring the situation, providing consular assistance and engaging with authorities in the UAE, while urging Ghanaians in the Gulf region to remain vigilant and follow directives from Ghana's diplomatic missions and local authorities. Well, let's go on Zoom now, speak to Samuel Dankwa. He is a Ghanaian. He's in the UAE as we speak. Let's get to understand exactly what the situation is there for him and other Ghanaians as well. Mr. Dankwa, thank you so much for joining us. So talk to me. We are told that 2 people were injured in the drone attack at the Dubai International Airport, but I hope you're safe, though.
Yeah, I'm safe. I'm safe.
Right. And so for what's the situation like on the grounds in the UAE as we speak?
Well, as we speak, yeah, everything is under control now, you know. Before we were a little bit scared. Our families were calling back home and a whole lot of stuff. But now, I can say it's 90% safe now. Because the government is taking very, very serious precautions to make everybody safe here. So it's very safe here now.
So when you say government is taking precautions, what are some of the precautions that you can talk to us about?
You know, they are making the security very tight now. They are intercepting most of the missiles that are being thrown here. So, I mean, it's safe. Business is going on, work is going on, everything is going on.
Because for most of us here, looking at the videos that we are seeing, the stories being told by international media, it gives the impression that, well, our citizens out there are not safe at all.
Well, before it was a little bit scary, but now I think it's good now. Because before, you know, the flights were not moving, everything was shut down. Vessels were not moving.
Yeah.
But now flights have started moving from Ghana to Dubai. Just yesterday.
Right. For you,
Yeah.
for you living there, how easy or difficult is it getting in touch with the consulate, the Ghanaian consulate in Abu Dhabi and also in Dubai?
Oh, it's very easy to get in touch.
Okay.
Anytime you call them, they are ready to respond and talk to you. And they always give us the confidence that everything is safe. So we should go back our normal duties and not be scared.
Right. Right. Well, Samuel, thank you so much for engaging with us. So he is a Ghanaian resident in Dubai talking to us about the situation there. He says now it's a lot safer than it used to be. And so we'll keep an eye on that as well and bring you updates subsequently. But away from that, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, is urging women to remain confident yet humble while supporting one another to achieve greater progress. Speaking during an engagement at the presidency to mark International Women's Day, she noted that although strides have been made in advancing women's empowerment, there is still much more work to be done, and called on women to be each other's keeper and avoid turf wars.
There's so much we can all do, regardless where we are, regardless the work we do. Be confident. Raise your confidence up. It's not about arrogance, it's not disrespect, it's not about filthy language. That's not what this is about. It's about building the country. All of us. But it begins with ourselves. It's not about, oh, we are going to fight with them. And listen, in this part of the world, we need to come together. There's so much left to be done by all of us. We don't have the luxury of a fight. Let's not fall into that. Let us embrace each other. Let each see the other. Okay? See yourself in the other. And let the other see you in them. So let us not be satisfied with little. Let us push further. And I believe that we'll be making more progress, not only for ourselves, for our daughters, the younger women. Let us learn to embrace them. What are you doing to bring others along with you? That should be our charge.
Well, at a time where many young girls are preparing to step into an uncertain future, a conversation about confidence and choices can shape a lifetime. At Labone Senior High School in Accra, final year female students gathered not just for a lecture, but for inspiration. The program, organized as part of International Women's Day activities, connected students with mentors and professionals to prepare them for life beyond school.
The program is part of Prudential Bank's Ghana's sustainability agenda, implemented with support from MasterCard Ghana and aimed at promoting gender equality, diversity, and inclusion. Speakers shared practical lessons on personal branding, health and well-being, financial independence, and leadership development. Officials say empowering young women at an early age is key to building confident leaders who can contribute meaningfully to society.
Your presence and support will undoubtedly motivate our girls to dream bigger, work harder, and confidently pursue leadership now and in the future.
A member of the bank's sustainability team, Barbara Johnson, says the program is part of a broader sustainability strategy aimed at creating lasting impact within communities.
We targeted SHS3 final year students because they are moving to the next phase of their academic lives. So we wanted to come here, equip them with information they will need as they move on in their academic life.
Head of Human Resources at Prudential Bank, Lillian Intriwa Asante, explains why the institution chose Labone Senior High School for the initiative.
We have a women empowerment series that cuts across, and today, as part of the International Women's Day celebration, we chose Labone Secondary School because we also see it as a school within our community, and so we decided to give back to the community.
She also encouraged the students to build strong values such as integrity, knowledge, and self-respect.
Even when they don't really know who they are, even when some of them do not know what they want to be in the future, we want to be a part of their decision making as they think about the future.
The empowerment program also aligns with United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 5, which focuses on achieving gender equality and empowering women and girls globally.
Prudential Bank believes that by unlocking the leadership potential of our young women, we are positioning you to be agents of change. The knowledge and skills you acquire today will be necessary to drive environmental, economic, and social responsibility.
Some of the students who participated say the program has inspired them to think more critically about their future. Similar engagements will be held in other communities as part of efforts to empower more young women. For these students, the lessons shared today may well shape the choices they make tomorrow.
Well, let's turn our attention to some partisan politics. And the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Kodjo, says the party has approved the rollout of an online registration system to address challenges in its ongoing reorganization exercise. Speaking at a press conference at the party's headquarters, Chief Scribe of the opposition party explained that the new initiative is aimed at reducing concerns about possible bias by party executives and easing time constraints faced by members who wish to register.
In order to answer some questions and issues that were raised across the length and breadth of our country, with people accusing constituency officers, electoral area coordinators, and polling station executives for deliberately hijacking the polling station register, and also to answer the questions by those who want to be registered but are unable to visit our polling stations to do the registration. The National Secretariat has come out with an online registration portal. The online registration portal, the processes and how it works will be demonstrated to us by the Director of IT and his team when I'm done with the presentation. The essence of this online registration portal is to have a flexible, very conducive and easy access for members who want to register and get their party card and at the same time pay their dues. The platform is in different categories: those who are registered voters, those who are not registered voters, and also those who live outside the shores of this country.
Now, following the nationwide investigation launched by the Food and Drugs Authority with regard to claims that vendors have been frying plantain chips with melted plastic, the news team engaged some consumers and vendors as to if and how this news is affecting them.
The rubber plantain na unpa kuno hu ye no hu ni yie enti ro ka se the rubber na echi enye rubber na edechi anwa na enchine ensuo keke na edechi nti enye no krese rubber so mo bebre jai tonte sanse oso ayen tonti bebre jai
me kwando ameto me no eno no mete ne once but me nim say eno rubber no mudi gu angwa no na plantain na because obi anim say plantain de plantain rubber means enye plantain nti me no me da me kwando de ametori ya de ame special kokko no me pepa
to bi if you say me ntimi nton koma me ma e ma me mama me firi da che wo mo na ebe hwe me bra me bra nyina afiri me manti ti say me to koma akwala ko no onya problem a bisika no kura me ni bia me de kwa akohwe no waya le sabia ntimi me nto bi
edit on social media, but I don't even know whether it's true or it's not true. And I don't like buying plantain, so I don't know.
Well, so those are some of the thoughts that we sampled on the streets here in Accra. But let's get to find out exactly what the conversation also has been on social media. Nana Markwa is joining me with your thoughts on social media. Nana, what are...
Well, Joshua, the FDA have said they've started testing on plantain chips, so you were responding to that. We have Racer after they have been exposed. We also have Kofitsi. GHOne explained Taya. Alberta says, well, check other foods. The plantain chip sellers may stop temporarily, so the results may not reflect the truth. We also have TA Jacent. They should also check the so-called drinks and smoked fish. Joshua laughs. Older ones collected or the new ones. We also have Francis. So let's check the current ones in town as compared to the previous one. Andrew says, dano. People should speak out about it before you do lab tests. And then Gloria Ansong says, check the color drinks too. Comfort says, into you people, are you doing your work well? We also have Engineer Edem. You guys should be proactive. Samuel adds to the conversation, this ought to have been done before issuing the public statement so you can be definite. Domenyo, this is what the FDA ought to have been doing all along, like they have been going to the pharmacies and drugstores and markets. Anyway, it's not too late. We also have Nanajwa. This is something you must do periodically. So why now? Stephen says they have stopped. Why? You think they are fools? Engineer Senna, so FDA want the public to show them their work. Hey, Ghana. Ofori Emmanuel, we need certified plantain chips from the correct brand who can be held responsible in case something goes wrong. Bernard says he doesn't care. All I know is I'm not going to buy that food. I better do it myself. Alfred says you have to do this random test over a long period of time to ascertain the veracity or otherwise of these allegations. Emmanuel says Chocho mate is cheating you about the lorry fare and calls another Chocho mate to referee the matter. This does not relate to the post in any way. Then we have Matthias. You were sleeping on the job. Better late than never. Asiedu Eric, how on earth can you use plastic bags to fry plantain? We have to face reality. He thinks it's a lie. We also have Akosia. Check carrots too. Some are becoming too sweet nowadays, and so do your work well at FDA. Francis Appiah says, so you think the traders will be dumb to still fry with plastics? Well, we saw a video that was showing that. We have Bright. Most of the comments are what I was thinking, so I'll reserve my comment. We also have Aqua K. Williams. Our last two comments here. Must Ghanaians make claims before you carry out your mandates? Hey. Then Emmanuel Davidson. Please do the same to smoked fish and Kobe sold in our markets, including palm oil. Good work done. Well, continue to send us your messages on Instagram, Facebook, and on X. My name is Nanama Aqua. Let's hope that you chew your plantain chips healthily. Joshua, back to you.
Well, quite interesting dynamics there. I'm sure that in the coming days we'll get to know if indeed this is the case, because there are some who do not believe that people actually use rubber to fry plantain chips. But away from that, at 36 years old, Cecilia Akpeneyevu sits confidently behind a traditional kente loom. Now her fingers moving with quiet precision. Now she cannot see the vibrant colors of the cloth forming before her, but she knows exactly where every thread belongs. My colleague Rosemond Akwokwa-Ajete visited Petoi, a weaving community, and brings us the rest of the story.
Mostly done by family.
In a world defined by sight, few imagine weaving color in total darkness. But for Cecilia Akpeneyevu, blindness did not end life's meaning. It rather became the beginning of purpose. At 36 years old, Akpene is blind, yet every day she weaves kente cloth using memory, touch, and unwavering determination. Akpene was once a farmer. Life was hard but predictable until her sight began to fade.
Ta ke one mama no chacha o agbele medena en kwache ni mega ba no akpata mega la agblade ya mejo idoyo benye Celeste Gboji ta fuma me ya me no ni akpomo vo amono afalo ta ko no lo ma ah nche me no sebo la vo lo nyale ko o kole wo yo.
She was taken to an eye clinic in Accra, then referred to Kwalibu Teaching Hospital. Doctors confirmed the worst.
The eye clinic gale ege. Afifu ma obe nkwa igbeleta yomate weta yodo mi da Kwalibu. Take mi Kwalibu a wojo check o ebetela obe outake abrochimia yiwa va de eya ke wa ko bubu kode but ama he ya me kono po ta ke me kono po vide ta ne ani me school anyi me kona no blackboard jio ta anyi me kona ta wa be school nya e ba to
ke vinya na gogbona bo we ke we no aje gomene ya afete ke yo paklo beto la famia ebe ya kpro ira bruchi to ogbonya ma na yi kwa ya mama yi tasi akpro yi ko gbove ah tasi a chejo gogo yare kemele mi abia mi la sitotro kaka gbere akwe ko ya mi kole me
enye veve sese na mbe evinye nyonu via ko ele sukui na kaka ko baro afire ko menkuvaki mi wo pete e koji pete awo le de o we do pe o gbogbo driver na mi.
Akpene returned home, dreams shattered, future uncertain. Frustrated and broken, Akpene turned to faith.
Ano tame buka kaya holo nyere bagbo. Ma wuye wona unsi anuta. Ma va Celeste Church ne bedodora kwa. Ma wonto agbugbo avun kwana. Tafi ma to ya nche me va yiye ma bo ke ma wenye unsi anu wala kwa. Ya kwe eja wena.
One night she had a dream.
Ake breka kuma ba kudrebe o to agbati mele me kwa. O la vo alo ko mele po. Ale ke ole wa ko mele po le dreme.
Though blind, Akpene remembered what she had seen before, how weavers spun yarn, how bobbins were measured.
Evinye nchuvia de ka mechio wa on ma nkemi aduchi anofu de game no asinyo ko ya fovide no gbaje bo ya fie fi ko chiru ya tefia anya lolo ko yo no fia ya ko nchembo ma ba try po be de matenwa we ya ko nya tefe ko ma wonto ai na msosobe makonye fasiku ya makono ejiji fi ko le posela manokpo kemele ka de nye pe fi ya le se de kwa ya ko me no me po gbanto avon me gbo ya ko me ga ko ma ga vele ga ko de me ga po ya che pete ovo.
Her 10-year-old son, Ernest, became her eyes.
Ne yo avon menkola ke me nya be avon ne me nya la ke me nya be avon ke ka ko wona ke ka ke ne nye me nya avon no yo avon menko ne nye me nya ola me bia na me be simple lesia avon ba be keke vide lesia no lela ke kwena ke me yo vinye ke me bia be avon ke ya no yo ka ona mkwa ke ne me stomach ke me va aplica ke me va si ke ukona keke majikwa ke wa kosi.
Today, she weaves up to 22 pieces, 4 yards a day. She cannot see color, but she knows it.
White ala, ya yang sevidele blacka. And make white black, che don't sevide white. And white white black. Me coffee ana be no pora be kai. E o yonena.
White, black, blue. She knows them by touch.
I'm going to go to phone with the guy. I am in this year. I am in the Avasasa, a lolo, Plitovitia, and you pon a government of it. Kakia Megan, a docket got dinner regime. If you are a Jeffrey, when you are preparing.
Like the way people beg for arms, were taking their vulnerability into consideration and then go begging for.
All that touching story of Akpene, who is defying all odds to ensure that she gets to weave kente while she cannot see. Well, their handles produced by Rosemond Akoko Ajete. Well, let's do business.
The Business Brief is brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
President John Dramani Mahama has commissioned the Sahara LPG vessel MT Asharami Ghana in the Republic of Korea, strengthening infrastructure for the global liquefied petroleum gas supply chain. The president commissioned the state-of-the-art dual-fuel, fully refrigerated LPG Korea on Thursday at a ceremony in South Korea. Speaking at the commission ceremony at the Hyundai Heavy Industries in Ulsan, the president stressed that the occasion represents more than the launch of a vessel, noting that it is a substantial milestone in strengthening the infrastructure that underpins the global LPG supply chain. Presidential Affairs correspondent Abdul Hanan Adam reports.
The state-of-the-art dual-fuel, fully refrigerated LPG carrier
also known as Asherami Ghana, is designed to expand global shipping capacity and support the growing demand for liquefied petroleum gas across Africa. Speaking at the commissioning of the vessel in South Korea, President Mahama described the move as a measure that supports the global LPG supply chain. According to him, for countries such as Ghana and other African countries that rely partly on LPG imports to complement domestic production, expanding global shipping capacity is essential.
Its deployment significantly expands LPG transport capacity and signals a new chapter in regional energy logistics. More importantly, it reflects a shared commitment to strengthening access to reliable and cleaner energy across West Africa and the African continent. Energy access and the transition to cleaner energy sources remain among the defining challenges of our time. LPG plays a vital role in this transition.
He also noted that the vessel is a strategic boost to the growing fleet under the West Africa Gas Limited Energy Initiative, supporting the region's evolving energy needs. He added that LPG is key to Africa's cleaner energy transition, offering millions of households a safer alternative to charcoal, firewood, and kerosene.
Its wider adoption contributes not only to improve public health, but also to environmental sustainability by reducing deforestation and indoor air pollution. Through strategic investments and forward-looking partnerships, such as the one we're celebrating today, we're taking practical steps to enhance energy security for Ghana, West Africa, and Africa as a whole. These efforts contribute to building a just and inclusive energy transition that benefits future and present generations.
On her part, Executive Director of Sahara Energy Group, Yasewa Adiwole, says the commissioning of the vessel marks a strategic investment that will strengthen Ghana's downstream petroleum sector and bolster national energy security.
This vessel represents more than capacity at sea. It represents confidence in Ghana's growth, confidence in our regulatory framework, and confidence in the long-term sustainability of our downstream sector. By expanding our LPG storage and distribution capability, we aim to improve supply reliability, strengthen market stability, and position Ghana to meet rising demand driven by industrial growth and clean cooking initiatives. This investment aligns closely with Your Excellency's vision of building a resilient and sustainable downstream sector, one that promotes cleaner energy solutions while ensuring accessibility and security of supply for Ghanaian households and businesses.
Meanwhile, Ghana, like many countries in the region, sees LPG as a key driver of socio-economic development and a vital pathway to expanding access to cleaner energy. Reporting for GHOne News, Abdelhanan Adam.
Well, the Ghana National Gas Company has unveiled the Ghana Gas Ladies Association as part of efforts to celebrate and empower women in the company and the energy sector. The initiative seeks to encourage women to take up leadership and technical roles while promoting gender inclusion in the industry.
The ceremony, held under the theme Gift to Gain and in commemoration of this year's International Women's Day, was organized to honor women within the Ghana Gas Company. It's brought together dignitaries from various sectors to support the launch and formation of the Ghana Gas Ladies Association. Addressing the gathering, the Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Gas, Judith Blay, described the initiative as a call to action aimed at bridging gender gaps and creating more opportunities for women within the energy sector.
When we invest in our women through equitable opportunity, trust, mentorship, and guarded access, the benefits extend far beyond the individual or leadership level, fostering a more balanced approach and making institutions more resilient. At Ghana National Gas Company, we recognize that building a world-class energy company requires the talent, insight, and leadership of both men and women.
The Deputy Chief of Staff, Nana Oyebampo Addo, encouraged women in the sector to strengthen collaboration through such associations in order to attract more females into the industry.
All the ladies' associations within the energy sector, you come together. Not come together as one association, but we don't have many women in the energy sector. So please come together and ensure and work together to get more women into the energy sector in Ghana.
Representing the board, Emmanuel Vincent commended the female workforce of the company and stressed that empowering women ultimately contribute to national development.
On behalf of the Board of Directors of Ghana Gas, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here to celebrate International Women's Day. At Ghana Gas, we recognize the critical role that women play in shaping the energy sector.
The ceremony climaxed with the cutting of a commemorative cake to mark the unveiling of the Ghana Gas Ladies Association, along the introduction of its interim executive members.
Well, that's it for the business this afternoon. Time to bring you sports.
The Business Brief was brought to you by GHOne, passion for technology.
You are live. Many thanks for joining me here on Sports Brief. I am Monica Bukari. Some members of the Ghana Olympic Committee has donated 40,000 Ghana cedis to the Ghana Sports Fund in a move aimed at supporting the development of sports in the country. The contribution forms part of efforts to strengthen the Sports Fund, which was established to mobilize resources to support athletes, sports federations and infrastructure development across Ghana. President of the Ghana Olympic Committee, Mr. Richard Akpokavie Esquire, says the donation demonstrates their commitment to working with stakeholders to improve funding for sports to create better opportunities for Ghanaian athletes to excel on the international stage. The Ghana Sports Fund was set up to provide sustainable financial support for sport development, particularly in preparing national teams and athletes for major international competitions. The GOC have welcomed the gesture, describing it as a step toward building stronger collaboration within Ghana's sporting fraternity to ensure athletes receive resources needed to compete successfully. And in the UCL, Real Madrid took a huge step toward the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League after a brilliant first-half hat-trick from Federico Valverde inspired a dominant performance against Manchester City in their round of 16 clash. Valverde opened the scoring in the 20th minute after a long pass for goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois before adding a second 7 minutes later with a low finish. The Real captain then completed his hat-trick with a superb volley after controlling a lofted through ball. Despite missing key players including Kylian Mbappe and Jude Bellingham through injury, City goalkeeper Gianluigi from Vinicius Jr. to keep the score from worsening. Manchester City created chances but failed to find the net, with Courtois making a crucial save to deny them a goal. Real Madrid now hold a commanding advantage in the tie.
Bukhari, do stay tuned. We have international news up next.
Well, in some foreign news, Senegal's parliament has passed a law doubling the maximum penalty for same-sex relations to up to 10 years in prison. The law also criminalizes promoting or financing same-sex relationships. Dozens of men have been arrested under the country's anti-LGBTQ law since February. The law has sparked controversy, with some arguing it's a crackdown on the gay community. LGBTQ rights are a sensitive topic in Senegal, with many viewing same-sex relations as deviant. Well, that's it for the news this afternoon. Grateful for your company. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah.